Welcome to Eric's Creative Side. Today I'm restoring a table that I bought from the Habitat for Humanity Restore store. And it had a little bit of water damage, but it's solid wood instead of no fiberboard or anything like that. And the water damage was just blackening. It didn't have any rot. So I used oxalic acid to get rid of the blackening after I'd stripped it. So I started off, I donned my masks and started doing some scraping and some sanding. Got all the old stain off of there, all the old varnish, and some of the black. Most of the black didn't come off, so I ended up soaking that in the oxalic acid for a few days. Basically just applying oxalic acid with water, letting it soak in for about 20 minutes, then coming and drying it and letting it sit and dry overnight, then coming back to it and repeating that process for about a week. And then got that to where all that black you can see here faded out quite a bit. And then I stained the table. And my first attempt at stain, I used a new product that was pre-stained wipe rags, and that went horribly wrong, and I will never use those again. And so I had to strip everything back down to the wood and started back over with typical stain. And I ended up going with a walnut. I wanted a nice dark finish because this is going to be a themed table. It's going to have a nice little ring in the middle with some Elvish words, and so I wanted to make sure those Elvish words would stand out against the table. And so I stained the table and the legs, and came out pretty good. And as you can see, most of the blackening is gone. And with the walnut, it kind of enhanced it. I didn't end up painting the dividing areas black. I just couldn't get those scrubbed well enough. Even taking the table apart and scrubbing, sanding in there, just couldn't get it. So I just painted black on the edges and sealed that again with polyurethane. Put about 3 coats of polyacrylic on the table, and then I decided I was going to put my Elvish theme in here. So I centered it on the table, and then 3D printed a stamp, and then used some gold paint and stamped that onto the table, and that came out really well. It looks good, I think. And then I put 5 more coats of polyacrylic on top of that to make sure that nothing would scratch the middle off of there or scratch the table, since it's going to be a gaming table probably. And this is a finished product. I think it turned out pretty well. The Elvish words are very subtle. You don't see them unless you look directly at the table from a little bit of an angle in good light, and then you'll see them. So a nice subtle nerdiness there. And that's it. Took a couple months because I started in November and it got too cold to do the polyurethane. So once I finished the staining, I had to put the table aside and wait until spring to put the polyurethane on. And then I finished it in March. Hope you enjoyed, and if you liked it, give me a subscribe. Thanks.